Welcome back to another edition of Let's Play WWE 2004. And as always, Sam.
Yo, yo, yo. How's it going?
Seems like you're doing a lot of work over there.
Yeah, I'm doing laundry, and I'm trying to catch my kitten, and, get high. I'm already got high on your YouTube channel, is that okay?
Hey, it's legal in California, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medical recommendation.
Yep.
I'm not breaking any laws, folks. I'm not breaking any laws.
As those who have been watching, we are on the build to Backlash at the end of the month.
We're on the build to WrestleMania 21.
With some lower card match. With Heat having some lower card stuff. But also most of it being centered around the continuation of the Outsiders against Evolution and a certain debut.
And the main event of Triple H versus Kevin Nash.
Of course. I mean, what would Backlash be without... What would Backlash be without that?
Yeah, I heard they call it Quad Mania.
Yeah. This feud with Stevie and Maven will be coming to a close very soon. And actually, this is one of them that I was actually looking to continue with Samoa Joe and Val Venus. The reason why, for those who are watching who actually saw SmackDown our last video, the reason why we were thinking about moving Nakamura and Sean O'Haire to SmackDown is because the last promo from Nakamura actually did really good. So we were contemplating sliding him over because he actually did really good. But it just feels like Samoa Joe isn't necessarily there yet as compared to Nakamura. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're both going to be big stars. I think Nakamura. Fuck my life today.
But Nakamura is just a step ahead.
Nakamura is, he's closer to being a top, not a top guy, but like an established name, I guess.
Because also I can, if we're looking at the feuds, I would say that Eminem and America's Most Wanted, Maven and Stevie Richards, and Val Venus and Samoa Joe are three of the feuds that would not be featured on a pay-per-view if a pay-per-view was set for, let's say, tomorrow. I mean, this coming week. But it's not. It's 2 weeks from tonight. I mean, it's 2 weeks from Sunday. Or, what? Point is, it's not tonight, but either way, these matches, these feuds are Heat feuds. They're not meant... They're basically talent's first feuds on the main roster to get their feet wet and show what they can do in matches that actually matter or have some background.
Having a bad day, everybody. I just spilled all my weed on the floor in the garage.
Oh, that always sucks.
And then when I went to scoop it up, I moved the chair that was next to me, and then my pipe fell off and broke.
Wow.
My girlfriend's pipe, actually.
Well, to that, let's have a moment of silence for the broken pipe.
I care more about the weed that's spilled because I have a million pipes.
Mm-hmm.
Did I
Hashtag Springgate.
Never heard of him.
Rayborn it is. Because who doesn't like Adam Rose?
Me?
Hey, don't be a lemon.
Hey, man, he's a woman beater, okay?
Yeah, he
I
is.
can respect that. You just gotta... Don't deny it if it's true.
Oh, we actually gotta stick this on the pre-show, otherwise we're gonna get screwed, like the independent show. And I gotta book Eminem in what I believe to be their first main roster match against Brian XL and Easy Money.
Oh my gosh.
And also, if you're new to the series, don't be don't think that Sam isn't paying attention. He usually does this when we're on Heat. It's just that he doesn't care for the B shows. It's not that he's not paying attention.
I give ideas. I'm paying attention. I'm just not looking at my screen because I got other shit going on right now. Like, finding all my weed that's on the ground. And all the broken glass that's on the ground.
He has more important things to going on right now than caring about a B show.
Yeah, basically. I'm like Vince McMahon. I don't care, damn it.
When did Johnny Polo get back here?
Do you remember when Big Show and Billy Gunn were teaming up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. Wait, he stopped the name should be?
No.
He said, I don't care. For all I care, call yourself double trouble crap on a stick.
And Al.
What a day, guys. Luckily for me, on my way home this afternoon, I bought a new bowl for my bong, so I guess I'll just use that. Right here on WrestlingExpress.net. But I do have ideas sometimes for the B show. I'll say, oh, remember this guy? Let's put him on it. This guy versus this guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying because I don't want people to think just because you're silent that you don't know what's going on, or I'm just booking and not consulting you or anything like that.
Yeah, we usually talk through. Well, we might want to talk to the A show.
Yeah.
I use that term loosely with SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Sam's usually the one doing all the booking on the major shows, and I'm the one focusing on the minor shows.
All the booking, yeah, that's it. I think you do most of the booking. Hey, so my girlfriend gets home from work, I'm gonna try to use her up tonight.
I don't know how that would work.
But yeah, my friend Wrestling Express came over.
Yeah.
And he just grabbed your pipe and threw it across the room. You know what's sad though? Is that pipe? My girlfriend has dropped it from a standing position, and it just bounced off the ground. I dropped it from a chair, and it fucking broke.
Of course.
Get out of here, kids.
Of course.
Get out of here, kids. I'll step on you raw.
Of course, because that's the only way that you can get in trouble for it. And you have to get in trouble for it.
I won't get in trouble for it. Oh, that's how much lying.
What fun would it be if you didn't?
Yes, motherfucker.
Okay, so Sylvain Grenier gets another opportunity as he's going up against Tatanka in the main event. And we open with another random match with Spike and Antonio Banks.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So, let's go. Okay, that's why Ray Bourne's unemployed. He got a 15.
Ray Bourne, in relation to Matt Bourne?
He's dead.
Well, not before he's on.
That's true. I think he's retired. I think he's retired. Evan Bourne, he's on the Indies.
He's like 15.
Probably around there, like 16 or 17 or something like that. Oh no, I think he's in he might be in TNA actually.
Was Matt Sydal in TNA?
Matt Sydal, yeah.
In real life?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Antonio Banks actually got another win. Antonio Banks beat Spike Dudley, so good for Antonio Banks because, he actually got a solid win.
That's food. No, he used to have a little bit of food though.
And the reason why I'm surprised about that is because I didn't pick a winner because I expected Spike Dudley to win, but good for Antonio Banks.
There you go.
That's why it's on the B show.
All right, 30. That's
Yeah. 32.
That starts getting worse.
Yeah, I don't know if they were ready for the main roster.
Easy money. Jason Jett and who?
It's Brian XL.
Oh, never mind. Easy money and Brian XL. Never mind.
Yeah.
What was Easy Money's tag team he was in?
Was it at the end of WCW?
With Julio De Niro, I think, in TNA.
Oh. I don't remember. I think I remember what you're talking about. Okay, we got a problem here. Mercury's on drugs.
Mercury's on drugs. Well, looks like we have a single star.
Well, so what we could do is we could have America's Most Wanted have their talk next week, talking time next week, and then the blow off the week of the pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, I would vote to just not even have just put Mercury. Like, Mercury hasn't proved anything to us. He should just go straight to rehab right now.
So you want to kill the feud?
I mean...
Or do you just want to let the feud go 2 weeks and then kill the feud after that?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
So we can actually get a match out of it.
Feud, but I'm not the one who did drugs.
Yeah, but we haven't even gotten a match out of the feud yet.
I think it's better to kill it off before it really gets off the ground. Like, it's going to get off the ground. I mean, they suck, though, too. I say what we do is we just kill off the feud, send our boy to rehab, and then put Johnny Mundo, what's his name? Johnny Nitro, in singles squash matches and the dark matches, and let him just lose a few times.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay.
You don't owe them anything, damn it. I lost everything.
Yeah, that screws everything up.
Yeah, I admit my weed and my pipe and my lighter. My grinder. Wait, my lighter's in my pocket. Where's my grinder at?
What happened last
Hey,
week?
who was the main event? Talking who?
Sylvain Grenier. It didn't do that good, but I think Tataka's more to blame.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he's on time decline. Okay. Kick it off like that. And then let's go to the women first this week.
Let's do the women. Let's do all the women. Except for China, she's the dude.
Well, China retired, so we're good on that front. Would you be against ending the feud tonight with Trish and Lita?
Nah, whatever's over.
Because I think we were gonna try and stretch it out to the pay-per-view, but Do you really want to, or do you just want to have we can have a fatal 4-way tonight to crown the next number one contender?
Shit, we got a fatal 4-way next week.
That's true. That's true. And then we could have the 2 weeks to build to the pay-per-view.
Okay, for women. I mean, no offense to any women out there, but come on, man.
But by that, my friend, means at this time they weren't as featured as they were back in the day. I mean, as they are now.
More specifically, what I mean is, at this point in our game, they're very, very low rating getters. And if we just kind of spread them out a little bit and use more women and less of a way, I think they'll do over faster.
So basically what he's saying is, let's use them like they do in WWE, because what's the fun in not doing it that way?
Sure. We just have Paige come out and say, "I'm back."
And then Ruby Bright come out the next day and say, "I'm here."
I told you about my Paige theory, right?
What?
When she came back, remember she came back and was like, "I'm back, but I'm not alone." Remember?
Yeah.
I thought Del Rio was going to come out and punch her in the face. Then she goes, "It's not his fault, it's my fault, I think I'm so mad." Paige with a battered wife gimmick. I would have liked that.
That's taking things a little
You ever
far.
had that gimmick, a battered wife?
No.
Well, I guess Chaz was beating down his girlfriend for a while on TV. Remember she had like a black eye or something?
No.
Her name was like Marlene. Remember Beaver Cleavage?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Remember when he became Chaz again and he wore smiley face boxer shorts?
Was that before or after Lowdown?
Before, I believe.
So it was probably like a 3-week thing.
Yeah, it didn't last very long. But he's like, you know how my friend and I always make fun of it because every few years they have a gimmick where some guy is like, "I'm a real person, I have a real name. My name is John Tenta. My name is Ray Traylor. My name is Tom Brandy."
What do you have against Tom Brandy?
When he was doing Beaver Cleavage, he's like, "I have a real name. My real name is Chad." And then he started beating up this chick. But yeah, that's bullshit.
You sound like an old man trying to relive his glory days.
Who, Chaz?
Oh, like
Sorry, Chad.
I remember back in the day.
Hell yeah. Dude, wrestling is my glory days. Because you weren't there.
Well, since we scrapped the feud with America's Most Wanted, I figured let's say fuck it and give the Dudley Boys, America's Most Wanted, a chance to show off what they can do on Raw against the Dudleys.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Hunter, let's go to Evolution for the first time.
So wait, what's the title match? Women's title match looking like?
Huh?
Trish, the champion, right? Trish?
Yeah, Trish is the champion, yeah.
And Trish defeats Lita tonight on Raw?
Yeah, she's retaining the title. Is that cool?
Okay. Sorry, I'm so mad.
So how do you want to keep the mind games going with Evolution and Sting, or do you want to...
You mean the guy that should not be named yet?
No, I meant the singer.
Steve Warren?
No, the singer Sting.
Oh, the singer.
Yeah, we're bringing him in, aren't we?
Yeah.
Exactly. Mr. Oh, he's not supposed to be named. Oh, why can't we name? Why can't we name?
You want the pay-per-view or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we keep the mind games going through the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, it's
good. Okay, Ric Flair, because last week the show ended with Ric Flair being laid out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ric Flair charges Eric Bischoff's office towards the beginning of the show, and he is so fucking mad, and he demands to know who did it and what he can get his hands on that person. And Bischoff says, I don't know, Rick, I'm sorry. If I had the ability, I would help you out, but I have no idea who that was. You know, something like that. I'm almost fell.
How about...
Okay, now I can finally sit down and look at the damn screen.
Yeah, and then Rick could be by himself with Eric. Wait, Eric's not in the feud. Hunter. Flair is pissed and wants answers from last week.
Yeah.
But Eric is clueless. So let's actually start the show with this. Then we go to the announcers, and then we can have Evolution have a separate backstage segment after without Flair, where they're, you know, it's like Randy and Dave, and Randy's nervous.
I mean, you know, that's going to be like an hour later. Flair could have definitely met up with them in an hour.
You know what we could do then? We could have a match. We can put Randy in a match.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And then Flair would be at ringside, so Dave and Hunter could be backstage. Because Flair's managing him. You know what? What about having Dave have the match instead, so it could still be Randy being nervous, because
that works.
Because also I don't know how often we actually use Dave in matches. More often than I thought. Oh wow, Dave actually beat Batista. Dave actually beat Batista. Dave actually beat
Gordon?
Goldberg.
Oh yeah, remember on Goldberg's last match?
Yeah. Okay.
Right, my friend on this podcast I listen to, Kelly says Nikki and Bella.
Tommy, Al. Oh wait, Tommy can't address it because it's not on that show. So let's do this instead. Yeah. Oh yeah, that feud, I forgot. Oh, okay. We could have Bischoff come out and give an update on Shawn Shawn hasn't been attacked yet.
What's up with Shawn?
Oh yeah, that's what we can do. We can have Sean compete, and then Kane attack him. Yeah, that's what we can do, right? To keep their feud going.
Oh, confused.
Sean and Kane are feuding.
Right.
So we can have Kane attack Sean. After we can have Sean fight and then have Kane attack him.
Okay.
I just forgot that we didn't do the attack yet. That's what I was doing with Eric. I was gonna have Eric do an update, but we haven't done the attack yet, so we can't have Eric do an update. Okay, so we can't do that match. I mean that feud.
I'm so happy that Chris was the Intercontinental Champion.
Speaking of that, we should probably have Christian compete. You know what? We could figure something out, but oh.
Hey, that's a good call right there. Piper's still with the Outsiders. Oh, Triple H and Kevin Nash, even better.
Yeah.
What are we doing with Scott Hall right now?
Well, he was taken out because he failed. Did he fail? I'm not sure. I think he was taken out last by Randy and Dave. So maybe setting up something with Randy or something. I'm not sure.
Is he in rehab?
I don't think so. But he might be that because that's what I was thinking. Kevin Nash and
Yeah, whenever you're done here, let's look at about with Scott Hall.
Because I was actually just thinking about that. We could have.
You only made that 2 minutes though, by the way.
Yeah, it's just like a hype package type thing. It's not.
But it's Piper's. Isn't it Piper? Are they both minutes up? They're off screen.
Yeah.
Hunter and Kevin are off screen. Okay.
Yeah, it's just announcing it for next week.
Oh, they're announcing it for next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Scott's not in rehab.
Alright.
I'm confused.
So it's just all you gotta do is go look on history and see what we did last week with Scott Hall.
I mean, the last thing I remember is him getting attacked.
But then I thought we did Scott Hall versus Randy Orton after that.
I don't think we followed it up. I'm not sure.
That's a pay-per-view? Are we doing Hall versus Orton at the pay-per-view?
I was thinking about that. I'm not sure. We probably are.
Excited.
Christian, you want this to be for the belt?
If Christian wins, then yeah.
Let's go back and look. Oh yeah, Scott Hall demanded a match against Evolution. He fought Randy, but it was the DQ.
Let's do Scott versus Randy pay-per-view. I think that's already pre-booked too.
Probably, yeah.
So you should do Randy Orton. You should do Scott Hall with a promo on Randy Orton. Because I'm sure Scott Hall's going to hold the promo.
How about we set up the match and then we do the promo next week to extend it out?
Yeah, sure. But you should put Randy off screen in that segment.
True, otherwise it's not going to affect the feud. That's true.
Just do a freestyle angle yeah.
I can't wait till Eric Angle's off the roster, so I can just click. Oh.
Demands a match with Orton.
Demands a match.
Rematch.
With Orton. At Backlash. With no Bard. Because Orton got DQ'd, so they want to. The Hall wants no holds barred.
That works. What's the main event tonight?
I haven't the faintest idea. I think it should be. I think Sean should be involved in it in some way, so we can have Sean get attacked with Kane.
Oh, by Kane?
Yeah.
Well, who are the heel main eventers? Oh, we looked at all the main eventers, huh?
It's Kane, Evolution, or Test. What?
We're not using Scott Steiner.
Well, we used him last week.
Oh, did we?
Mm-hmm. I'm game for Test. Just to give Test a test.
Alright.
Because, he won't pass this test.
You know, if you don't have a good match with Sean, you can have a good match with anybody.
Exactly.
Well, his name is Tom McGee. You have a good match against Brett.
Power arms him off the stage. Would you be opposed to doing one of these? With Sean and Kane? But would you want Sean back? Or, well, actually, they wouldn't have to fight at the pay-per-view, right? We could just have something else.
It's still 2 weeks. This is not going to put Sean on the show.
Him getting powerbombed off the stage wouldn't put him on the show for at least a week or two?
Yeah, but he can make the pay-per-view. It's 2 weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Sean will be able to make the pay-per-view. It's fake, bro.
Well, we can see what happens between now and the pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm not saying Sean won't make the pay-per-view. I'm just saying.
Came backstage or something, you know.
Yeah, it could be.
He's not cleared, but he shows up.
Don't y'all worry. We'll keep it going, bro. We'll keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to run Raw?
I feel like this feud isn't interesting enough to push back.
Oh, wait.
Sean and Kane?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Hunter and Kevin Nash, so...
No, Kevin Nash and Triple H is more interesting. Do a couple of dark matches, too.
Oh, okay, yeah. You want to do the developmental ones like we had been doing?
Yeah, but let's not do developmental versus developmental. Let's do developmental versus star in 2 matches. Yeah, let's do Carlito.
That works.
And then one more.
You want to do like a...
you want to do a tag team match with the Time? Nah, because we gotta put them together.
You want to do like a Punk or a Claudio or somebody who's close? Or Chris Cage?
Chris Hero's there too. Yeah, let's do Chris Hero. Fuck it.
That's fine.
And then we'll put them both in against established wrestlers.
Where's William Regal when you need him? No, I'm only kidding. Okay.
You need to sign a push.
No, they assign him as openers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, one's a babyface, one's a heel.
Okay, cool. So let's find a babyface that we could have beat him. You want to do Tommy Dreamer?
That works.
Okay, I like that idea.
Tommy needs something. Well, in between, with his, with his main story being in between, with the day and you know what I mean? Like, he needs something, a bridge, to keep him busy.
Hey, instead of Rodney Mack, you want to do Joe?
Joe worked heat. You want to...
Oh, okay.
Do you want him to have another match, or do you...
No, Rodney Mack is cool. I didn't realize Joe worked heat.
Yeah, he worked heat with Rosie.
Joe. With who?
Rosie.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he beat him.
That's good. Well, yeah. I mean, he's going to be beating his brother in about 10 years, 12 years.
Yeah.
He beat Rosie's little brother.
Yep.
Like, Roland, I used to beat your brother. No, I'm beating your ass.
Raw's good now?
I think so.
Alrighty. Let's get into running the show then.
Oh wow, not bad. What did Chris Hero get? The 24.
Right around what Eminem got.
Carried it, but it was a good match.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Tommy definitely carried it.
Tommy did well. We should.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know what? Like, since we're kind of done with what we were doing with Tommy, We should kind of put him into that role here, where he carries a heel.
Yeah, he could be like the first test, like a credible guy because we booked him strong for the last 4 months.
Yeah, you know what we should start doing? Like a Tommy Dreamer Open Challenge on Heat, where we always bring in a developmental guy.
Well, what I'll also say is this to those who are watching. The Stevie Richards Maven thing will wrap up next week on Heat, and that'll bring Maven over to Raw, which will open the door as we move into Backlash to the tag team match that we had planned. That if you had seen our pre-booking, you probably noticed Mick Foley and Tommy Dreamer are set for a tag team match at Backlash against, yes, Al Snow and Maven. But that will likely be the blow-off of the feud. That will likely be the blow-off of the feud because we decided to give Tommy something better.
Do you think this is better?
I mean, it's probably better than working with a color commentator and Maven.
That's true. Like, look at this. This is a 34 because Rodney Mack is no fucking Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently he got a breast contusion.
What the fuck? Where does it say that? Oh my goodness. Rodney Mack got a breast contusion. What does that mean?
I guess he received the cut on his breast.
Oh wow.
Hey, it's 2017.
Yeah, we know, baller.
Yeah.
That was a good opener right there.
Yeah.
Flair's pissed.
Flair's pissed. Who attacked him? He's dropping elbows on his jacket in Eric Bischoff's office.
You know what the funniest part is like because as pissed off as Ric Flair is, and Eric Bischoff is denying it the whole time. They're like, "Whose Black Bat is this? I don't know." Like nobody fucking knows, you know.
Yeah.
Like pretend like they don't know who it is.
Good announcer segment, and then we move to the women with Trish and Lita. With Trish retaining the women's title. Yep. I mean, the more time you give them, the better possible rating it is. So, I mean, you give the two best women on the roster the most time.
And then, if we split these two off and put them in separate feuds, I think it'll be good for the women's division.
I agree. I mean,
this is like Austin versus The Rock right here for women.
I mean, I'll say that I think one of them could feud with Victoria. I just don't know if I want Victoria. I just don't know who should be number one contender.
Yeah, let's have a fatal four next week.
Yeah.
Where it goes. I'm interested to bring in like new women too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like cheerleader Melissa and Sarah Del Rey and like.
Good job, Christian.
Who can fucking wrestle?
Good job, Adam.
Like getting a real women's division going. You know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
Even like one on SmackDown too.
Yeah, I don't know why Vince wanted to put a blue dot over your face.
Wait, what?
Christian and Eric got an 81, helping that feud with him and Booker.
Right.
People
just love seeing Eric arguing with other wrestlers.
Yeah. We're finally taking advantage of him. Of it, not of him. That sounds weird. Evolution, once again. Mark Henry beat Road Warrior Animal, because why not?
What a rush.
Somebody's gonna get their ass kicked. The Dudleys, freaking... What a segment. Yeah, they're the Raw Tag Champs, yep.
Okay, that's well deserved.
Who they're gonna go against, that's another question. Holy crap!
Wow.
A 78?
78 for the fucking the America's Most Wanted?
And they only went 8 minutes!
And they both had 50s.
Yeah, can you imagine if we gave them like 15, 20?
Had a 46.
I mean, Jesus.
What the hell?
That's crazy. Bob Holly and Danny Basham. No wonder why Danny's in a tag team. That could be considered a little...
Oh my God.
I'm gonna walk away from that one. I'm gonna walk away from that one.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from that one.
So next week on Raw, we're gonna have Piper's Pit with Kevin Nash and Triple H.
And what about maybe mind games directed at Hunter in that segment? Sort of like we ran it with Kane and Taker when we were running that storyline.
Wait, what's that storyline called?
What?
What was that storyline called? I missed it.
Evolution versus the guy that shall not be named?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Not bad. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was the IC title match?
Yeah. It's also alarming the fact that Christian and Rikishi got the same as the Dudley Boys against America's Most Wanted. And Rikishi did double America's Most Wanted. But Christian, he's good. Scott Hall wants a shot against Randy Orton at Backlash, no holds barred. Eric Bischoff gives him the match because he knows that'll create ratings and that'll create a moment. Fuck, that sucked.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good as a mid-card match.
I mean, don't get me wrong, a 75, not a horrible match. It is a bad match for a main event.
It's a bad match for Shawn Michaels.
Well, that's what happens when when he doesn't click with a guy.
And look, Test got a 58.
I guess Test isn't as good as we thought he could be. Maybe he needs to team with somebody that has their finisher called the Holocaust.
Test and Holly.
And, well, that really heats up that feud. In 86. That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Fuck. Right around what I thought. I didn't expect us to lose that much popularity, but right around what I thought an average show.
As long as the network's not pissed off, I don't care.
Well, I mean, when your best segments come from fucking Christian and Eric Bischoff, you know there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because also,
not past the test.
I mean, yes, Randy Orton and Triple H and Kane and Shawn Michaels got our best segments technically, but when no match got above an 80...
Okay, well, go to the roster page again real quick.
You know, it's problematic.
Yeah. I have an idea here. Okay, so if this doesn't work, we have to go to plan B. Alright, go to the roster page, go to Test, or Andrew Martin, whatever the fuck his name is. Click down there at the bottom where it says Sensei Development. Let's see.
He'll actually go.
Fight.
He'll actually go. Are you kidding?
He doesn't even say, no, I shouldn't go to developmental. You're like, the shittiest people say, no, don't send me there. So that's, I can't believe he didn't even argue it. I was just like, I wanted to do it to see if he would argue it or not, and he didn't pass that test either. Oh, wow. I think we should leave him in there for a little while. Just to teach him to not be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, and it's always fun to say there's no better way to end this episode of the series other than sending Test to developmental.
I can't believe he was in developmental.
So with that being said, let us know down in the comment section below what you think of the series so far. If you have any ideas to help us with booking of Eminem after the collapse of their feud after them ruining their expectations, or anything to get Rhino on television more, let us know down in the comment section below. I know 2 random people, but as you can see, they have morale issues. But either way, let us know down in the comment section below, because as always, feedback is more than welcomed and appreciated. But if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. And as always, don't forget to ring the notification bell to know when a new video is up on Wrestling Express. Till next time.